Alright, in this video we want to talk about how to graph linear equations that are written in standard form. We talked about standard form before. Standard form just means it's written in this form: ax plus by is equal to c. So the way to do this is basically a three-step process. We have to find the x-intercept, we have to find the y-intercept, and then we just connect them together. In order to draw a line, in order to graph a line, you only need 2 points. So if we have an x and a y-intercept, those are the 2 points, and then we can connect them. So here's just a visual of what an x and y-intercept looks like. Let's suppose we have a line right here. It'll be this black line that I just drew. Okay, the x-intercept is right there at that red line. That's the x-intercept, and you can probably tell from looking at it, the x-intercept occurs right there when y equals 0. Okay, the y values are the up and down values. Let me draw those right here. This is y equals -1, -2, -3, -4, and up here 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, notice that right here, right where that blue line is that I'm crossing through, y is equal to 0 right there. It hasn't gone up or down at all. Okay, now let me draw different colors of this yellow one right there. So let me make that a little bit dark. I'll make it green instead. So you can see that green line right there, that's the y-intercept, because that's where it's intercepting. This is the y-axis right here. Okay, this other axis is the x-axis, the horizontal. The y-intercept occurs when x is equal to 0. And for the same reason, if you look at the way that we're drawing this, x equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here, -1, -2, -3, -4. But at that green line, we haven't moved horizontally right or left, so x is equal to 0. So here's how you can find the x and y intercepts in order to be able to graph. It's not too difficult to do. All that we need to do to find the x-intercept is we need to plug in y equals 0 to our equation. So let's do that for this first one. The x-intercept is going to occur when y equals 0. So I'm going to take this equation and just plug in 0 for y. And we'll solve that. So 2x plus 0, that's the same as 2x. If we divide by 2, we get x equals -3/2 when y equals 0. So this is the first point that we need to put on our graph. And by the way, -3/2 is the same as -1.5. So our point is going to be at -1.50, and that's right where I put it right there. Alright, then we need the y-intercept. So the y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. That's true for every single graph. So now we'll plug in x equals 0 right there. So 2 times 0 is just 0, plus y equals -3. So that means y equals -3 when x equals 0. So our point is at 0, -3, which is right here. And now once we have those two lines, now we can just connect the dots. And that is what the graph of that line looks like. It looks like that right there. Alright, see if you can pause the video and try number 2 on your own. Same exact procedure. You have to find the x and y intercepts and then try to graph those. So the x-intercept again occurs when y equals 0. So we will plug in 0 right there for y. So 3x minus, that's going to become 0. So we don't even need to write it. We could just write 3x equals 4. And then we'll divide by 3, so we get x equals 4/3 when y equals 0. 4/3 is equal to 1 1/3. So we're going to have a point at 1 1/3. So here's 1 right here, a little bit past 1 would be about right there. And then our y-intercept will occur when x is equal to 0. So we can draw that as well. So our y-intercept will be when x equals 0. So if we go over here, if we plug in 0 for x, that's going to be 0 minus 2y, and that's the same as -2y. We don't need to write the 0 in front of it. We'll divide by -2, so we get y equals -2 when x is equal to 0. So 0, -2 puts us right here, and then all we need to do is connect the dots, and there's our line, and that's how we graph things in standard form.